Are you handsome? Are you handsome? Oh my goodness. Look at this handsome boy. I know. So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Late afternoon video for you today. It's 96 degrees. I know you folks out in Texas and out west, y'all just burnt up like a crisp. It's awful, but it's very hot here now too. Hopefully we're gonna get a little bit of a break in the next couple of days and some rain, so that will be nice. But we're up here this afternoon, checking everybody, feeding everybody, mainly topping off all the waters and checking everybody's breathing, make sure everybody's got enough shade, which they do. It's just one of those times that you have to really work with your animals. A lot of people ask me, they're like, well, you know, are you able to go on vacation? Are you able to do all of these things? No, not really, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of times you have to be here to manage your farm, and you have to be available to manage your animals, because extreme weather like this, and we get it every year. We're gonna have it in the winter, you have it in the summer. That's what their winter, summer is all about. But you have to be available to constantly care for these creatures. Okay, it's like having a newborn baby. So just know that if you are getting into getting any animals, and I've said this many, many times over the years, this is your full-time job. This is what you will do 24/7. All right, so let's walk up here. All the water troughs are filled again. All the rabbit waters are filled again. The goats are getting out in the secondary fields to graze. So everybody's up and mobile. During these stressful times, a lot of times they don't eat as much, particularly hay. They just want to graze and nibble. I mean, when you're, I know, girlfriend, you hear her talking. I know. So, you know, you just have to do this 3 times a day and just make sure everybody is handling the stress. Lovey is in the cow, she, the one with the heart, that's why her name's Lovey. She's in one of the troughs right now. She always does that. And I bathed her, so that's her desire. So let's talk about this, guys, on this late Friday afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. Folks, this is the moment that you have been anticipating. This is the moment that you've been holding your breath for. This is the time that you have been saying is going to come, but you were holding your breath. No, there's no more holding your breath, okay? We talked about this in many different ways over many videos. We've talked about the word confidence, and when I have used that word, I have used it in the application of in terms of the US dollar is still in your hand because you have confidence in it, okay? Because you still have confidence in it. We are still a nation to some regards because you still have confidence in it. The difference between you and the government, the people and the government, as we've talked about many, many times, is paramount these days. Always has been for a long, long time. But we are not dealing with the country that you knew and I knew growing up, even with things going on. Things went on and have always gone on. The times are different now. You know, here's the thing. I was thinking about this yesterday. Let me sidebar this for a second. It'll tie in. You know, a lot of people talk about bad times coming, hard times coming. Hard times are here. Hard times are here. Again, you're just not in harder times yet because people are still blinded and people still have confidence. You know, in a way, we kind of have to thank the people, the sheeple people, because they're sort of prolonging a lot of things in a lot of ways. They don't feel, they either agree with, God love their hearts, or they are willing to go along with a lot of things to make them feel comfortable. Well, here's the thing. People have been arrested. Things have happened to people, including one of your presidents, as a live example of you better shut up. That's what this is all about. It really is. It's an intimidation factor, more so than anything. It is to maintain and to hold control and to intimidate you to the point where you just put up with it. You do what they say. You cover your face. You know, you do things to your body that no rationally minded person honestly would do. But when you put the fear of the devil into people, they do irrational things because they're scared. Intimidation does that. It's an abusive relationship. Always has been. But we are at the point of losing complete confidence. I feel that we are. I think that the tide is now tipping. I think this is the moment that the majority of people have sort of sat back and waited to see, and here it is. Now, does that mean that something specific is going to happen tonight or tomorrow? No. Nobody knows a timeline of anything. And I'm sweating awful and I can't help it. But here's what I'm saying. There is nowhere for you to run unless you are literally taking your passport, picking up roots, and going somewhere, which all of these people always threaten to do, but then they never do it. See, talk is cheap, right? Where are you going to go? The majority of people aren't going anywhere, okay? You are going to be putting up with or standing up to, tolerating, or however, whatever you choose to do. The time is beginning now because the enslavement of your children is in front of your face. If you're good with that, well, you're in for it, babe. You're in a lie for it. You know, which district are you going to be in? Which one do you want to pick? A district. You're going to be there. You know, I don't know. So here's the bottom line. The time is now. The point that I think is so funny is that when I talk about where are you going to go, I will tell you right now, I live here in Southeast Tennessee. It's 96 degrees. And a lot of people always talk this fun and game big talk of I'm going to run to the mountains or I'm going to run to the woods. Well, you're going to die there faster than you will anywhere else, probably. I'm eating up. Well, I'm better now. But I got a horrible case of poison ivy on my legs this week. Doing outdoor labor. This is what I do. These are some of the things we unfortunately have to deal with. And so I thought about this. I was like, I'm thinking about all of these people that think they're just going to run up to the Cherokee National Forest or the Great Smoky Mountains or over in the Nantahala. You're going to be eaten up within 24 hours. If it's not by a cougar, mountain lion, a bear, a rattlesnake, a timber rattler, copperhead, the elements alone are going to take you down in just a few days. You won't make it because you're not going to have the ability to take and live and be the way you think you should or could. This is not the old goat lady in Cold Mountain walking around with her goats and her little hut, and she's got all her herbs and salves and she's going to save you. Folks, that is fantasy land. So what does this boil down to? You're in it. You're in it. You've been in the thicket and you're in it now. And now we have the situation where they are all, now we have the variant. Oh, you know, I have to admit to you though, that I'm really, let me pick your brain for a second, because I always like reading your comments and seeing what you think. You know, I actually thought and have sort of said or predicted or have said I wouldn't be surprised if we had another comeback, you know, the election pandemic. I actually sort of assumed or thought that maybe it would happen a little bit further down the road, closer. You know, we're still 15 months out from the election that we hope we're going to have. So I actually sort of thought that this would come back. All I'm trying to say here is I am perplexed that it's actually happening right now, which I question of how serious will this be this time? We're all sort of holding our breaths. I will tell you right now that I went out this morning and I made a few quick little runs and picked up on a few quick things. Nothing major, just to top off a few things. I did it yesterday, did it this morning, just to make sure that I have things that I need. But we should be doing those things anyway, making sure we have medicine, making sure we have cleaning supplies, making sure we have extra cat food or cat litter, whatever you need for your home, the basics. So I just topped off a couple of things. No big deal. Believe me, there's plenty of things still left on the shelf. I didn't strip it, and you know, you won't either, because none of us are that nuts, because we stay prepared and we stay ahead. But here's my point. There's a lot coming our way in the next, well, now to whenever. And are people going to go along with all of these things? You know, here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you like Donald Trump or not. It doesn't matter if you like Joe Biden or not. The bottom line is you're literally watching things happen to one person and they're not necessarily happening to another. That's no form of justice. So what does that mean for you? Does that mean it's going to be fair for you? You should already have the answer there. So here is the now moment. This is the moments that our grandfathers, specifically, our grandfathers, patriot grandfathers. I have a Reed. I have a Patton. I have a Dysart. I have a grandfather that is buried in an unknown grave in North Carolina that I am determined to get to before, you know, the first thing that popped in my mind is if they start closing all this crap down, I still haven't gone to see his unknown grave in the back of a church. Died. Callens Ford. Look it up. These moments existed in the past over and over again for so many men, particularly men. And I feel like our moment has arrived. That doesn't mean we pick up and do anything destructive today. I'm not trying to start anything like that, but I'm saying the mental shift is now here. Don't you feel it? Don't you see it? And it's not about you. It's not about me. It is about our children. It is about our grandchildren. It is about the example that we set for the rest of the world, because believe me when I tell you, I don't have that big of a YouTube channel compared to so many others, but I am very thankful for where I am and what I have. But the point that I'm making here is if you could see all the comments and all the emails from voices of people from around the world that are saying, we are depending on you, America, you patriots, you Yanks. We are waiting on you to finally stand up and say, no more. So how and when that comes specifically, I have no idea. But it's ripening. It's ripening. So within that context, I go back to what I'm saying about the beautiful situation with my legs. That's just a moment in time of saying, you ain't running nowhere, baby. You're not going anywhere. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. There's not. Technology has proven to find people and do things to people in wicked ways in recent weeks that only, it just seems like a science fiction movie, but it's not. So my point is you have to decide when the moment comes for you where you have to have the guts to stand up and say, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not participating in that. No, you're not going to do that to me. No, you're not going to force me to do that to my child. No, I'm not going to let this happen. All I'm saying is to mentally, physically, and spiritually prepare yourself as much as you can for this time. You were born for a time such as this. God has you here for a reason. This nation has turned its back on God. And I think we're walking the test now. I really, really do. This country has made it this far because we have been overall in many different faiths, but a people of faith. We have wanted to be a people of peace and prosperity. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about the people. And now it is all turned around to suppress the people. And we have allowed these people to infiltrate. We are still allowing these people to infiltrate. And it's coming, the chickens are coming home to roost. I go over this in my mind because to me, it was just, it's blatant yesterday, seeing the mugshot of Donald Trump. Again, what in the world? What in the world? So I hope that if you are, the tough guy saying that, hey, they deserve this or he deserves that or whatever, well, I hope you're prepared. Because if all you can think about is, got him, I'm going to tell you what, you're not prepared for the rest of the things that are coming. Those of us that understand what just happened yesterday also understand that we better be prepared at home as best as we can. And we better be relying on God and turning back to God, because that's all we have left to pull us out. Our faith in God to pull us through. So here's the bottom line. You're not learning anything today. Maybe I'm solidifying some thoughts that you've already had. Maybe you can answer some questions that I've sort of thrown out there. Because this whole thing coming back right at the beginning of the school year. Oh, and let me say this. I may make a separate video on this. But for the love of everything beautiful on this planet that the Lord Jesus Christ has put before us and God has put before us, If they start closing down your schools and making you school at home, or all the things that they did several years ago to your school, to your children, they ruined your kids. You know that, right? Right? You've pulled them back out, I hope. You've gotten them back on a stable path, a better educational path, maybe help them psychologically and emotionally. You just pulled them out. Why in the world would you ever let them get sucked back in again? So you do what you want. You do what's best for you and your family. But this is why I keep telling you to get them out. Folks, we're walking into the valley, and your children are there too. And if you want to protect them, the ultimate way to do so is to get them out of these demonic schools. Period. Some people get offended when I say that. I really don't care, because the truth hurts. I didn't say all teachers were bad. I said the school system, the public school system. So if you want to go ahead and get ahead of the curve and save your children, homeschooling is the answer for you. There are 100 different ways you can do it, okay? I did it. It was great. All of my children turned out just fine so far. So far. But I'm just saying, you can do it. So if you want to avoid the future problems that you are going to be engulfed in potentially over the next, well, it's starting now, and who knows what else could be coming down the pike for infinity at this point, you have to bring your children home. It's the only hope you really have. You being their educator and parent, not their buddy. And for all means, please get them involved in church. Some of you are going to come back and say, well, there's no good churches around. Pray on that. God's going to put you in the right path on that. Even if you have to have church at home, do it. Because they're not going to be doing it at school. So guys, I'm going to get back and close down the barn, check on everybody one more time. I appreciate you being here on this Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. The bottom line is, folks, nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to help us. We, the people, are going to have to manage on our own. The confidence is fading fast. Is it fully gone yet? No, but it's very dim. And just like the dollar, we're watching Old Glory suffer in the background. What you're seeing happen in this country is not what the Founding Fathers had in store for us, but they knew of the consequences if we allowed these things to infiltrate. And you will suffer those consequences. We are suffering them now. Let's not make it worse for our children and grandchildren. Like, subscribe, and share. Stay cool. Be sipping a lot of water. I'm watching everybody. Appreciate you being here. Guys, it's here. It's been here. But now it's blatant in front of your face. Get busy. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you on the next video. And Godspeed. Sister! What you doing, sister? Where you going? Oh, okay. Okay, girlfriend.